Howdy everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about open carrying of a pistol and exactly what does that mean. If you want to see my video on whether or not I agree with open carry or not, go ahead and click that banner up there. That will take you to that, but that is not this video. We're going to talk about what is open carrying, and I'm specifically talking about handguns. So essentially what open carrying is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a pistol that is carried on your person that is clearly visible to everyone around you. You do not have any type of cover garments that are covering up or concealing its identity. It is open to the public. Right here, I'm carrying a concealed carry pistol. If I were to carry this pistol, it would typically be on my belt right here, and you would be able to see the holster, be able to see the gun itself. So Texas has some specific requirements that you need to meet if you want to legally open carry a handgun. So number one, you've got to have your license to carry, and number two, that gun has to be carried in a belt or a shoulder holster. So this is a belt holster right here or a shoulder holster. No other method is allowed. So you might be asking, well, what about like a drop leg holster that is carried on the thigh but is attached to the belt? Well, I'll share with you what the DPS instructor shared with us during our instructor training. That call is going to be made by the peace officer that is addressing that situation right there. If he feels that it meets the requirements, then you're good to go. If not, he could make your life a little bit more difficult that day. But specifically, it's a gun that is in a belt or a shoulder holster. That being said, if you are open carrying, there's a couple things that we need to keep in mind, and especially when it comes to holsters. If you are going to open carry that handgun, guys, you need to have at least a level 2 holster. So when we talk about retention levels of a holster, that essentially means how many methods of retention does that holster have. So typically, my concealed carry holster right here, that is a level 1. That level 1 is the friction of the holster actually grabbing my gun. A level 2 means there's some type of mechanical device that you have to disengage. So this holster right here, I actually have a button that I need to disengage in order to get it out. So retention number 1 is the actual friction of the gun inside the holster, and then number 2 is this button right here that I have to break with my thumb in order to get the gun out. Why do we do that? Well, like I said, we're open carrying that handgun. People know that you have a handgun. You have to be able to retain that handgun in any circumstance that you might come across. So like I said, somebody knows that you have one, you've got to be able to keep somebody else from gaining access to that firearm. We are trying to retain that handgun. We are trying to keep somebody else from grabbing it in the event that they try to do so. So one of the reasons why officers typically carry level 3 holster, there's 3 things that are holding that handgun into that holster. So that being said, guys, if you are going to open carry, we need to have at least 2 levels of retention. In my opinion, the more the better, because ultimately what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep that pistol secured. Everybody knows that you've got one, and so if somebody wants to try to get it, they know exactly where it's at, and we need to have the levels of retention in our holster. But even more importantly, guys, you need to have the weapon retention skills to keep somebody else at bay or to keep them from getting that. That is highly critical. So if you're going to open carry, man, we've got to have those levels of retention, but you also need to have those weapon retention skills. That is not something that you can learn over the weekend in a class. That is something you need to practice on a day-to-day basis. Like I said, proper security, proper securing of a handgun. We're trying to limit access to those who we don't want to give access to. So you want to open carry, that's cool. Make sure you've got enough levels of retention on that handgun to keep somebody else out, and then you also have the skills, you also have the weapon retention skills to prevent that as well. But anyway, guys, hope that answers some of your questions. Like I said, open carrying, it's a handgun that is carried on your body that is clearly visible. Texas has some specific requirements. It's in a belt or a shoulder holster. If you are enjoying these videos, guys, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We would love to have you on board with us. Nonetheless, be safe, be smart, be skilled. Catch you on the next video.
Before we leave, if you are in the market for a good EDC holster, that being inside the waistband for concealed carry or outside the waistband for either a duty or an open carry, check out Big Tex Outdoors. They have a wide variety of quality made holsters, mag carriers, holster accessories, medical, anything that you might need for a concealed carrier or as an officer on duty. Big Tex Outdoors has you covered with great quality products, good pricing, and fast shipping. Use code TRM13 for 13% off.